Ruth. Chapter 1. During the time when judges were judging, there was a famine in the land. A man from Bethlehem of Yehudah went to live with his wife and 2 sons in the land of Moab. He is called Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem of Judah, and they went to Moab and lived there. Naomi's husband, Elimelech, died, leaving her and her 2 sons. They married Moabite women. One was named Orpah and the other Ruth. They stayed there for about 10 years. Both Mahlon and Chilion died. Thus the woman alone had been left with her husband, and 2 sons expired. When she heard in the land that God had visited his people and given them food, she set out with her daughters-in-law to return from the land of Moab. Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back to your own land and to your own people. May God deal kindly with you as you have dealt with me and my 2 sons. May God grant you rest in the house of your fathers." And she kissed them. They wept aloud. They said to her, "We will also go with you to your people and unto your land." Naomi said to them, "My children, you may return back. Why do you come with me? Would I have sons again to be husbands unto you? I am past my age to be wife unto a man. Or if I had such a desire, and had sons being wife unto a man, would you wait for them until they were old? Would you not take husbands for you? My children, for the hand of God has gone out against me. I grieve very much for your sakes." They broke down in tears again. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law and left. As for Ruth, she stood close to the mother-in-law. Then she said, "Your sister has returned to her people and her kinsmen. You too may follow suit of your sister." To that she said, "Do not tell me to part with you and go back without coming with you. I will go wherever you go, and I will live wherever you live. Your God, my God, your people, my people. Where you die, I will die and be buried. May God do so to me, and more also, if I am separated from you, except by death." When she saw that she was determined to go with her, she stopped telling her to go back. So the 2 of them walked until they reached Bethlehem. When they reached Bethlehem, the whole town rejoiced for them. The women said, "Is this Naomi?" She said to them, "Call me Mara, not Naomi. Almighty has dealt with me what is most bitter. I left here full, and God has made me return empty, since God has testified against me, and Almighty has grieved me. Why do you call me Naomi?" Thus Naomi returned from the land of Moab with a willing daughter-in-law named Ruth, a Moabite woman. They arrived at Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest. Naomi had a wealthy relative named Boaz, through the clan of her husband Elimelech. He was named Boaz. Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "I would like to go and glean grain, relying on anyone who will show mercy, following reapers." Naomi said to her, "Go ahead, my daughter." So she went. The field she entered to glean after the harvesters. Fortunately, it happened to be the section belonging to Boaz of the clan of Elimelech. Soon, along came Boaz from Bethlehem and said to the harvesters, "The Lord be with you." And they replied, "The Lord bless you." Boaz asked the servant overseeing his harvesters, "Who is this young woman?" The servant overseeing the harvesters answered, "She is the young Moabite who came back with Naomi from the plateau of Moab." She said, "I would like to gather the gleanings into sheaves after the harvesters. Ever since she came this morning, she has remained here until now, with scarcely any time in the house for rest." Boaz then spoke to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in anyone else's field. You're not to leave here. Stay here with my young women. Watch to see which field is to be harvested, and follow them. I have commanded the servants to do you no harm. When you are thirsty, go and drink from the vessels the maids have filled." Casting herself prostrate upon the ground, she said to him, "Why should I, a foreigner, be favored with you?" Boaz answered her, "I have had a complete account of what you have done for your mother-in-law after your husband's death. You have left your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and have come to a people whom previously you did not know. May the Lord reward what you have done. May you receive a full reward from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for refuge." She said, "O Master, though I am not even one of your servants, I have proven worthy of your favor, such that you have comforted me and have spoken to the heart of your servant. At mealtime, Boaz said to her, "Come here and have something to eat." She sat near the harvesters. He gave her corns and bread dipped in milk. She ate her fill and had some left over. As she rose to glean, Boaz instructed his maids, "Let her glean among the sheaves themselves, don't perturb her. And even drop some handfuls and leave them for her to glean. Do not rebuke her." Thus she gleaned until evening. When beat out what she had gleaned, it came to about an ephah asterisk of barley. She took it into the town. Mother-in-law saw the gleaning she brought. Next she brought out what she had left over from the meal and gave it to her. So her mother-in-law said to her, "Where did you glean today? Where did you go to work? May the one who honored you be blessed." Then she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked. "The man at whose place I work today is named Boaz," she said. "May he be blessed by the Lord, who never fails to show kindness to the living and to the dead." Naomi exclaimed to her daughter-in-law. She continued, "This man is a near relative of ours, one of our redeemers. He even told me," added Ruth the Moabite, "Stay with my maid servant's people until they complete my entire harvest." "You would do well, my daughter," Naomi rejoined, "to work with his maiden servants. In someone else's field you might be insulted." So she stayed, gleaning with Boaz's servant women until the end of the barley and wheat harvests, and dwelt with her mother-in-law. Chapter 3. Eventually Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, should I not be seeking a pleasing home for you, that you remain well? Now, is not Boaz, whose women servants you are working with, a relative of ours? This very night he will be winnowing barley at the threshing floor. Now, go bathe, anoint yourself, then put on your attire and go down to the threshing floor. Do not make yourself known to the man before he has finished eating and drinking. But when he lies down, take note of the place where he lies. Then go uncover a place at his feet and you lie down. He will then tell you what to do." "I will do whatever you say," Ruth replied. She went down to the threshing floor and did just as her mother-in-law had instructed her. Boaz ate and drank to his heart's content and went to lie down at the edge of the pile of grain. She crept up, uncovered a place at his feet, and lay down. Midway through the night, the man gave a start and groped about, only to find a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. She replied, "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the wing of your cloak over your servant, for you are a redeemer." He said, "May the Lord bless you, my daughter. You have been even more loyal now than before in not going after the young men, whether poor or rich. Now rest assured, my daughter, I will do for you whatever you say. All my townspeople know you to be a worthy woman. Now, I am in fact a redeemer, but there is another redeemer closer than I. Stay where you are for tonight and tomorrow. If he will act as redeemer for you, good. Let him do it, but if he will not, as the Lord lives, I will do it myself. Lie there until morning." So she lay at his feet until morning, but rose before anyone could recognize another, for Boaz had said, "Let it not be known that a woman came to the threshing floor." Then he said to her, "Take off the outer robe you are wearing and hold it." When she did so, he poured out 6 measures of barley into it. She left for the town. She, meanwhile, went home to her mother-in-law, who asked, "How did things go, my daughter?" So she told her all the man had done for her, and concluded, "He gave me these 6 measures of barley and said, 'Do not go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed.'" Naomi then said, "Wait here in peace, my daughter, until you learn what happens, for the man will not rest, but will settle the matter today." Chapter 4. Boaz marries Ruth. Boaz went to the gate and took a seat there. Along came the other redeemer of whom Boaz had spoken. Boaz called to him and said, "Come, sit here." And he did so. Then Boaz picked out 10 of the elders of the town and asked them to sit nearby. When they had done this, he said to the other redeemer, "Naomi, who has come back from the plateau of Moab, is putting up for sale the piece of land that belonged to our kinsman Elimelech. So I thought I would inform you, before those here present, including the elders of my people, purchase the field, act as redeemer. But if you do not want to do it, tell me so, that I may know, for no one has a right of redemption prior to yours, and mine is next." He answered, "I will act as redeemer." Boaz continued, When you acquire the field from Naomi, you also acquire responsibility for Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the late heir, to raise up a family for the deceased on his estate." The Redeemer replied, "I cannot exercise my right of redemption, for that would endanger my own estate. Hence you do it in my place, for I cannot." Now it used to be the custom in Israel from old that, to make binding a contract of redemption or exchange, one party would take off a sandal and give it to the other. This was the form of attestation in Israel. So the other Redeemer, in saying to Boaz, "Acquire it for yourself," drew off his sandal. Boaz then said to the elders and to all the people, "You are witnesses today that I have acquired from Naomi all the holdings of Elimelech, Chilion, and Mahlon. Moreover, I also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of Mahlon, as my wife, in order to raise up a family for her late husband on his estate, so that the name of the deceased may not perish from his people, and as placed to this you are witnesses today." All those at the gate, including the elders, said, "We certainly are witnesses. May the Lord make this woman come into your house like Rachel and Leah, who between them built up the house of Israel. May you prosper in Ephrathah and bestow a name in Bethlehem. With the offspring the Lord will give you from this young woman. May your house become like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah." Thus Boaz took Ruth. She became wife unto him. He went unto her. The Lord enabled her to conceive, and she bore a son. Then the women said to Naomi, "Blessed is the Lord who has not failed to provide you today with a redeemer. May he become famous in Israel. He will be your comforter and the supporter of your old age. For his mother is the daughter-in-law who loves you, who is worth more to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the boy, cradled him against her breast, and became his foster mother. The neighbor women said, "A son has been born to Naomi." They named him Obed. He was the father of Yisai, the father of David. These are the descendants of Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father of Aram. Aram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nahshon. Nahshon was the father of Salma. Salma was the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Yisai, and Yisai born David.
All glory be to the Holy Trinity, one God!
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.